Hello, dear viewers, dear friends. I'm James Samuel Tersakian, and today we are going to cover and analyze Menorca Open Round 7. Also, I will try to solve some puzzles, and in the end we will have some random blitz games, and the aim will be to somehow reach 3000 rating on chess.com. So let's also have the standings and pairings. Let's go to chess results, Spain and Menorca. Can I find it? No, it's not that easy actually to find Menorca. Yes, chess Menorca group, and yes, we are having only two players having 5.5 points out of 6, Aryan Chopra and Daniel Darda. So very soon, after maybe 1 week or 10 days, I'm going to play Aryan Chopra. So I think yesterday he managed to beat Nihal Sarin with the white pieces. And Daniel Darda with the white pieces won very, let's say, good game against Kirill Alexeyenko. So we are having Pranav Anand, Erigaisi, Klimkovsky, Fedoseev, Siman Warmerdam, Nihal Chigaev. So Nihal is half point less than Maxim. Lamar against Aravind, and many other interesting games I'm expecting. So let's see what are we having. And already we see that Aryan Chopra ended his game in a draw against Daniel Darda. So a4, c5, knight f3, a6. So a rare move, and maybe even we can say dubious move. So a6, according to computers, obviously, Levon Aronian during World Rapid Championship played a6 against me, and I went g3. I think he played so I went g3, he played b5, and here I played d4. So the point is, if you go bishop g2, then bishop b7, and pawn is under attack. So I went d4, Levon took, I took with the knight, and I guess Levon went bishop b7, bishop g2, and played e6. Game in the end ended in a draw. Yes, c4 move I played against Artemiev back in 2017 or 16. Yes, knight c6. Now black is kind of threatening e5 to just completely close the center. So d4, c takes d, knight d4, and Artemiev, yes, I think he also played knight f6, knight c3, and he went e5. Yes, and here I did play something. I went, I guess, knight c2 if I'm not mistaken. And later on I got some advantage, but of course after knight c2 white doesn't have much. Just maybe later on Artemiev didn't react very precisely and allowed me to have some advantage. Yes, knight f5, d5. I remember maybe it was 2022 candidates where Rajabov played it against Caruana. if I'm not mistaken again. So c takes d, bishop takes f5, e takes f, knight d4. White is having some pressure. So bishop d3 was... white is actually a little bit better, but let's see how did they play. Bishop e7, short castle, bishop e3 was played, and already computer doesn't like it much. So bishop e3, knight takes d5, bishop takes d4, e takes d, knight takes d5, queen takes d5. And it looks like black is having pawn on d4, and that pawn can restrict bishop on e7, but it's not actually much. And rook e1, bishop f6, g3, rook c8, a3, b5, a4, trying to create some weaknesses. B takes a, rook takes a4, rook b8, queen d2, and here Aryan Chopra offered the draw, which Daniel accepted. Yes, I think the crucial moment is here, like takes, bishop d3, bishop e7, castle, and here bishop e3 was played by Aryan, and rook e1, knight d5, queen d5, and queen g4. It doesn't look very obvious to go this rook e1 and go queen g4 and bishop h6, and especially that after bishop h6 black is always having bishop f6. So game ended in a draw. We are having another result. Jan Klimkovsky with the white pieces, 25 plus international master with the white pieces, drew his game against Vladimir Fedosiev. So e4, e5, d4, e4, e6, d4, d5, knight d2, c5. Yes, here we know that advanced French is with e5. Also knight c3 is possible, knight d2 as well. Yes, you can check out course, chess mode course, bishop d3. My friends, my chess mode friends, they are suggesting and recommending bishop d3, which I played some years back and got some messy position, and game in the end ended in a draw. So if you are interested, you can check about more information on Chessmode of official website. Yes, knight d2 was played. We know that knight c3 is another option. Knight d2, c5, knight f3, c takes d, knight takes d4. Yes, here white is also having e takes d. Let's say queen d5, knight f3, c takes d4, bishop c4. Yes, knight f3 is an interesting option. C takes d, knight takes d4. Here again, e takes d move is possible. Knight takes d4, knight e7, and this is something new. I can say that recently I got this position against Indian player, and but it was through different move order. So it was like c5, knight f3, e6, d4 takes, knight f6, and my opponent definitely wanted after knight c3 to go knight c6. So it was morning round, and I didn't have anything, let's say, enough prepared. And my friend recommended me that knight d2 is a possible option to play, and even we had blitz game, I guess, and it's not that easy, but I think the strongest is d6 to play. The point, if knight c6, I just take and I go e5, and I can even place my knight on c4. And of course the other point of knight d2 is being not only protecting the pawn on e4, also to maybe getting this Maroczy bind. But with the knight on d2, it's not much as with the knight on c3. Let's say you go c4, you go knight c3. And yes, here d5, it takes d and a6. Yes, through e4, c5, we got French. So if Fedosiev would play something like knight f6 and after he takes d a6, then we are getting my game. Of course, after knight f6, e5 is also possible, but I don't think e5 is a good move. Yes, knight e7 by Fedosiev. We see that it's a decent move. He takes d, knight takes d5. Yes, knight f3, and already black is maybe slightly better. Yes, it's interesting. What's the move? You just go bishop b4. So I assume if c3, maybe Rapport also played against Anish this. Anish Giri. This bishop b4, bishop d2. So if I go c3, it just does not work. Takes, bishop d2, bishop d4. Okay. That's why I should already play bishop d2. No, but it's computer doesn't evaluate precisely. So bishop c5, bishop d3, knight d7, short castle, c4, knight f6, bishop c2, queen c7, not the strongest move, but quite interesting. b6 with the ideas to go bishop b7, bishop g5, bishop b7, rook a d1, and knight g4, bishop e4, because with knight g4 black is threatening bishop f3 to take. Knight c3, h6, bishop h4, queen f4, threatening bishop f3, bishop g3. Yes, with the bishop on g3, first of all, if you take bishop f3, I always can take bishop f4 and bishop e2, knight e2. But even if I take g takes f, my bishop on g3 kind of covers my king side. So queen g4, a3, going for some b4 ideas, rook c8, rook d2, and e5 was played. And here rook fd1 would have been the strongest with some pressure. Yes, knight takes c5, knight takes c5, queen e5, queen c4, bishop d3, queen b2, queen b3, and seems like Fedosiev offered the draw, and Klimkovsky accepted. Yes, I don't see any reason not to accept. Fedosiev is a very, very strong GM, and it's not like white is having something significant. And I don't think bishop h4 is a move you can easily see and play. For example, even if I go queen e6, you have this knight a4. You just take, you go knight a4. Maybe white had some small pressure. Or yes, and Lamar. How did Aravind play? He lost? No, he drew. Let's see how did Lamar manage to drew his game against Aravind. So e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4, knight f6, d3, bishop c5. We know that knight g5 is an option here to play. Black is going d5, he takes d, and then let's say possible options are b5 and knight a5. Let's say b5 is interesting. If bishop b5, queen d5, that's why bishop f1. And here I can recommend not queen d5 because of knight c3, But knight d5 is a decent move. Bishop b5 and bishop b7, if I'm not mistaken. But you can also try this knight d4, c3, knight d5, c takes d, queen g5, bishop b5, king d8. And it's a complicated position. Yes, d3, bishop c5, c3, d6, short castle, bishop b6. Yes, many different setups are possible for black. Going h6, stopping bishop g5, going short castle, allowing bishop g5, going a6, a5. Yes, bishop b6 is one of them, if I'm not mistaken. Mamedov started playing this bishop b6, and then some other top players followed Mamedov's steps. Yes, knight bd2, knight e7, bishop b3, maybe even going for some knight c4 ideas, c6. Probably the point of c6, if knight c4, then bishop c7. Yes, h3, knight g6, rook e1, d4, rook e8, bishop c2. He takes this, he takes d, bishop e6. So not the strongest way according to engine. Let's say knight f1 is possible, but yes, knight f1 he went, d5, e5, knight e4. But I assume this is some well-known theoretical position. Knight g3, knight takes g3, f takes g, just trying to remove black's knight from d4, from e4. Yes, knight g3, knight g3, f takes g has been played, c5 by Aravind. Bishop e3, yes, bishop g5 would have been stronger, like queen goes somewhere, d takes c, king h2, bishop e3, c takes d, bishop takes d4, rook c8, king h2, king is so well placed on h2, knight takes d4, queen b6, bishop takes g6, yes, rook e2, just in this way protecting b2 pawn. If queen b2, of course bishop g6 is coming. Yes, queen d2, bishop f5. I assume the idea is being to go bishop e4 and then slowly maybe take the pawn on e5. That's why, yes, he is forcing opponent to take on f5. Yes, with the black pieces, Aravind didn't have any big issues, and I think for Lamar it's a decent result against such a high-rated player and very strong player. Let me just very briefly check our YouTube channel. Hello. Thank you, Hasakopian. Okay, let's continue. I hope so far everything goes and looks and works good. Yes, what other results do we have? We are having Aravind drew his game. Seems other players are full of energy and they are going to fight very, very hard. Okay, let's start checking Arjun's. So what is happening? Yes, Arjun drew only 2 games. One with the white pieces against Alexakis. let me just check, because Dimitris Alexakis. Why do we have problems with yes, Alexakis, and the other is with Sosa. And yesterday he beat Raja Ritwik. And today, let's see, what are we having? E4, c5, knight f3, g6. Arjun goes g6. Another, let's say, dubious move, or maybe not dubious, but some other much stronger moves are there. So d4 here. What can I suggest or say? C3 is an option to play, of course, and after c3, yes, I usually go c3 and d5. You can take e takes d, queen d5, d4. You can also go e5, and then with the d4 ideas. Yes, d4, c takes d, knight takes d4, knight c6. Yes, already here white can go for c4 and get this Maruzzi bind. Yes, knight c3, bishop g7, bishop e3, knight f6. Yes, and here I know bishop c4 move. Yes, knight c6 was played. e5. Here we know it's not here. Knight d5. No, knight d5. White just takes twice, and I think white goes maybe even bishop c4. After knight d5, c takes d, queen d5, rook b8. So knight g8 is the strongest, bishop d4. And here some moves are possible, like knight h6, f6. Yes, Arjun goes queen a5 and f4, but e6 by Pranav Anand, whom I played recently in El Lobregat. I think it was round 8. I was white, and game ended in a draw. He's very young, very strong. Yes, e6, knight f6, e takes f7, king takes f7. It looks like black is having some development issues, but black is also having very good center. So bishop c4 and d5, bishop goes to e2. I guess the point is, yes, if bishop b3, then I wanted to suggest this e5. That's why Prana went bishop e2, stopping e5. Now it's not pin along e file. Queen c7. Arjun does look for e5 opportunities. Short castle, Arjun goes e5, bishop c5. Yes, rook e8. Yes. Slowly castling artificially. King goes to g8. So f3 by Pranav, king g8, queen d2, bishop f5, b4. Obviously black is better. Like, the question is how much black is better. Is it something significant or just slightly better? Yes, black has very good center, good pieces, and it's very hard to say what does white achieve. Only they have c5 square, but it's not like under white's control, because whenever black wants, they can go knight d7. So rook d8, rook e1, h5, bishop a6, knight d1. Yes, I guess the point of knight d1 is to go knight f2 or knight e3, but I don't see the point of having knight on e3. I will just move my bishop somewhere. Okay, bishop a6, king h7, king h1, bishop h6. Arjun slowly improves his position, and now he has knight d7. This bishop does not have squares to retreat. If you take on a7, I just assume that rook a8 finishes the game. If you go bishop e3, then after bishop a3, e3, d4 comes. So knight a4, it would have been better to go bishop d3. So knight a4, knight takes e5, queen takes e5. And Arjun goes for h4, h3 ideas, queen f2, bishop g5, protecting the pawn, c3 and e4. Yes, it does look good for Black, and it is better for black. Yes. F4, bishop f6. Okay, let's see the other boards. Like, let's see how Max Warmerdam is doing. Honestly, I don't see any problems for black. I think only white should be careful. But overall, I don't think any of the sides has any issues, because less pieces, it's hard to create anything. So white will definitely go for, I don't like g5 at all. Like, what do you achieve with g5? You can go h5, but like, it's really hard to say what how much do you need this h5 trying to fix king side pawn structure. But okay, you don't have much pieces. You can go king g2, king g3 if you want. Yes, I don't think you can activate your queen because d4 pawn is hanging. Yes, black also, I don't see much for black as well. Like, whenever they try to activate the knight, then, but knight is perfectly placed on c6. There is queen e8 checks, of course. Let's briefly check the opening. Bishop b5 takes with the knight, c3, queen e2, attacking the pawn on e4, protecting the pawn on e4, d4 takes d5, very known, very standard idea, and knight goes to e4. But instead of going knight e4, Max goes first check. Something interesting. Bishop b4, so bishop d2 is the most logical move I see, and takes, and knight doesn't come to e4, but knight just goes to g8, and knight comes to e7. Yes, maybe white is very, very tiny better. They have some control over c file, but it will be very, very hard to get something on c file, because whenever you start doubling your pieces, then black will come with the other rook, h rook to c8 after castling short side. Yes, knight c5, rook d8, rook c3, takes, rook c8. Yes, going rook c6, a5, probably stopping b4. Yes, already black does not have any issues. Yes, queen a5 was played, takes, and no doubts that after knight a5, Jacob is planning to play knight d2. Again, I don't see any problems for black. I think black is even maybe slightly better. What are we having here? Wow, what a mess. What a mess, and like, who is better and why? So seems like, dear viewers, black is exchange down. Black is having pawn. Yes, for the exchange. Okay, what can I do? So by last move, I have a feeling that Nihal is in trouble. With the huge respect to him, with whom I have very bad score, I can say. Okay, but even bishop d3 looks kind of possible. Yes, I'm thinking to take c takes d, knight c4 to play. Because, okay, what can I do? I can go knight c6 back, which is possible option. I can go knight e6 back. I think any move, and black is having a good compensation. But what else? Like bishop d3 I don't like, because you will just take my piece. Yes, I can take it, take on f1, but I don't like it much. No, my point of taking c takes d was to maybe jump with the knight to c4. Obviously, queen is not trapped. Yes, you have many squares like b3, a6. Yes, I'm going to give this check, take on f1, take on d4, but it's not enough. What should I do? Should I go knight e6? No, it's quite complicated, I should say. I think white is more or less okay. No, c takes d, takes d. You can take on d4, but always I'm having this knight e4 move. And no, if c takes d, then you should at least try this. But okay, I'm just thinking like any move, like queen b4. All what you have is this knight e3 check. I will play king h2. There you can go knight f1, rook f1. You can also go d2. Yes, whenever you want, you can take my pawn on d4, and I'm ready to go knight e4. So it's really, really interesting to see what will Maxim Chigaev play. For example, another issue is being like, if I play just very standard, very normal move, yes, if you take, then you are going to lose probably some material. But here e4, he definitely wants to go e4 also. No, but it looks so interesting for black. I can also play some knight e4, I don't know. Knight e4 looks interesting. Yes, it's interesting to see what will Max play. And we are having Kirill Alexyenko is playing a Singaporean, a young player. No doubts white is better. So white is up a pawn, or 2, 3, 6. Yes, white is up a pawn. No, white is much better, probably close to winning. Yes, the only way you can kind of hope to take my pawn is to play this and king e7, but always I'm having queen g6. And now I will start slowly pushing my b and a pawns. Now I'm also having a threat queen g6. So you should play kind of king f7, and I think Kirill just wants to go b5. Okay, Kirill is much better. And Chigaev still taking his time. No, but really? I think we are having some broadcast transmission problems. I don't believe that Volodar is having only 30 seconds. I know that Milos, I know him personally, and we even maybe played some board over the board games. But he's very fast. But I think we are having some, because white is having good position so far. It's not much actually. Knight is on c4, and what do you want? You don't have any control over e5. You can always go knight g6, which can be unpleasant. So I'm thinking that queen e2 should be the move here for white. Okay. And Kartik. Yes, I think it's round equal. Yes, knight is coming to c5, king will stand on e7. Yes, rook b8 or rook, yes, rook a4 I don't have. Yes, rook b8 does look interesting. Knight c5, king e7, rook e2. Oh yes, I'm having some issues. You can try knight e4 check. Annoying check at least. Like what do you do? If king e3 or king f3, I will go rook a3. Yes, you can go here. I can play f5 of course, but I wanted to go here. But rook v2, let's say, and some knight c3 with the idea to jump knight d5. Yes, if check, then I'm just playing king d6. Because I wanted to go this, but I think now I'm having some problems, and then this rook e2 comes. So what are... Oh! And Max really wants to win. So he went h5. Yes, very classy move. So the point is, white should make some decisions. Like if you go g5, then anyway this king is coming, and h4 pawn is target. Yes, you can go f3, but the problem is I just play knight c6, and it will be very, very hard, probably impossible to protect the pawn on d4. So g takes h5 was played, king h7, king g2, king h6, and now some move. No, this is quite unpleasant position, I can say. This is quite unpleasant for white. Yes, and Chigaev still taking his time. Okay, let's try to go a little bit deep into the position and try to understand. Let's say we are taking, you take, I go knight c4. Which square do you prefer? Yes, I don't like queen c5 because it always allows some rook c8. I like which move? Queen b3 I also don't. Okay, queen b3 I can play. Queen b3 is more or less okay move. Knight e3 check. I go this. Let's say you go d2. But now I'm in some trouble with the white. So this rook is hanging. Bishop c2 is always coming. Yes, what will Max play? Yes, Arjun is... Yeah, should Black play... No, d4... Arjun is taking his time. And he goes g5. Arjun goes g5. Was g5 the strongest? Of course. Of course g5 was the strongest. Yes, if f takes g, I guess I just take with the bishop. My main goal is to trade the queens and get full control over dark squares. Yes, Arjun is winning. And Max is taking his time. No, knight c6. The problem with knight c6. What will I do? Yes, e4 I have, and your bishop doesn't have much squares. I'm having also this move. Yes, I want this. Yes, what about knight e6? So the problem with knight e6, I'm having this e4 move. Yes, let's say e4, you are going to take. I can take on f5, you are going to... No, this I don't like much. No, I think Max is trying to make one of these sacrifices work. Yes, it takes d, knight c4. Yes, so king f7 was played and b5. So, like, stopped queen g6, but now b5 came. And first of all, like, a pawn is also going, and somewhere maybe I can go also queen f3, attacking there and here. No, white is much better. So here, of course, we are having some broadcast issues. What did... knight e4 check followed by Tong Xiao, and rook a3 and knight c3. Yes, we more or less predicted. And king d4, and what is this? Like why knight d5 is not possible? You know, I don't see much problems for black. Should I play knight d5? Like, let's say I go knight d5, double attack. b4 is not really hanging, because if knight b4, then knight c5 wins my knight. So you have this f5. You can also go check, but after check I want king d6. No, here I don't have problems. Probably you will play f5. Yes, f5. Now knight b4, there is knight c5. But for example, why king d6 is not working? Yes, if you take, I want to take here. Yes, I'm expecting knight d5 move. Because knight d1 doesn't really work. There is rook b1, enough. And knight a4 I also don't like because of rook b1. Knight b5 I don't like. Knight d5 I like. You can of course push b pawn, but there is rook a4 checks. Knight f4 is hanging. So knight d5, knight c5, king d6. I don't see any problems for me. Yes, you should go f5, I guess. Knight f5, king d6. Now I'm threatening many. Like knight b4, taking on f5, going e5. One just takes. How is... we have problems with the transmission again. Here also. Wow. Praven Balakrishnan is playing Pranav V. Yes, and Pranav just played rook e6. So a5, bishop was hanging, and he didn't take it because of g takes f, obviously, and then queen h6 ideas are there, and he went rook e6. Yes, so very shaky position for black. G takes f, rook takes a5. For example, I'm having such a move and such a weird move. So rook c6 isn't working, queen f4, there is rook c8 checkmate, and my threat is being this, queen h6. Yes, but at least you can go rook a8 and you are more or less fine. So what else do I have? I can move my bishop actually, but where do I want to move it? Like even bishop b4 looks tempting. No, but bishop b4 you can maybe take. I wanted to take there and with the threats like this, but maybe you can take it. Queen e3, rook e3, rook c8, queen f8, rook c8, rook e8, queen h6, queen f8. No, rook f7 isn't working, rook e7 is not an option. Yeah, somehow bishop d2. Engine says bishop d2. Like, what do knight e8, knight h5, knight d7, rook a7. I should somehow attack this bishop. No, but honestly, I don't understand one thing. Let's say rook e6 was played, and now if I take, you should take on a5. So why Branov didn't take here? If I take queen f6, then queen c7, g takes f, and rook e6. And why he played rook e6 and allowed some extra options? Let's say here rook f7 isn't. No, rook f7 is also working, but it's not much. Like queen f4, rook g7, king goes f8 or h8, and then rook takes f6 back. Rook d7 is an option to play. Yes, you're having also this unpleasant move, like this. Queen f4, rook c8, but I'm having queen d8, and what is this? Rook is hanging, queen h6, rook f6. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. Yes. Wow, he played f6. Move which I didn't really consider. Wow. White is actually better. And bishop d3 takes is the strongest. So f. Yes, it looks like. No, I was wrong. How did they? Wow, very interesting opening. So c4, bishop g7, knight c3, short castle, bishop g2. Yes, one side tries to get Grünfeld or King's Indian defense, and the other side tries to get better version of it. Like, hard to say. So d5. This is Grünfeld and h4 with the ideas h5 and to open h file. Max goes h5, knight g5. Yes, knight b6. c6 would have been stronger, and here's g4. Yes, what an interesting move by Nihal. So if you take with the h pawn, then you allow me to go h5 and kind of open h file. If you take, then bishop b7 comes. So Max took with the bishop and decided to sacrifice exchange, and f3. Yes, not much. Bishop is not hanging, but not much squares for bishop available. Yes, d3. Yes, threatening some c4 ideas. Yes, after queen b3, bishop e5, queen f7 is a threat. Yes, I assume it is very hard for both sides to play. Yes, and Jordan Van Forest won with the black pieces against 23 almost 100 rated player. So bishop d7, bishop e2, rook c8, short castle, a6, h3. How did Jordan play yesterday? He probably drew his game, or he lost to Pranav. Okay, not much is happening. c4. I like, honestly speaking, white's position, because you always can maybe start advancing f pawn and get some f5, and black does not have ideas to go long castle. I also don't see the point of having rook on c8. Knight e1, knight f5, bishop f4. So far white is playing very decent chess. g4, a3. Yes, and here g takes h would have been very strong. And knight is coming to g2, bishop goes to g4, probably bishop g3. Doesn't spoil anything. g5. Yes, and you know, just a couple of moves ago, white played knight f3 to e1, and now knight f3 back. Yes, king g2. White wants to play rook h1, f5. Probably he didn't see. Yes, f5, very classy move. So the idea is f4, f takes g is also there, g takes e takes is coming, otherwise e takes f, queen takes f6. And bishop h2, which is a huge mistake. Queen c2, trying to go queen h7 or rook h1. Again, bishop f4, queen h1, but it was very hard to see. Knight g6. Yes, with the bishop c2 ideas, but knight on g6 well protected. b4, rook a8, bishop c2, rook a7, queen b2, knight f8, a4, a takes b, a takes b, b takes c, queen takes c3. Yes, knight on f8 defends king side very well. No, it's completely lost for white already. Okay. Yeah, sorry. Knight d5 was played. Knight c5 check, king d6, knight e4, king d7. Maybe they are going to repeat the moves. Yes, Max went on taking on d3. Yes, I assume the point was to take knight b6, a takes b, and queen a8 or something else like queen d3. But you know, queen a8, rook takes a8, it does not look No, I think queen a8 is not the strongest. Or queen a8 takes knight d6. Yes, it's really interesting. What's the strongest move to play? No, black is threatening bishop e4, queen d3, but queen a2, there I don't see. I think queen d3 we should take, because queen a8, rook takes a8, and what's there? Like playing some move with the... Yes, Nihal is taking his time. Not that easy. I just briefly saw that knight a4 before or when already Nihal went for knight a4. I saw that that's the strongest. I mean, white is having advantage anyway. And c takes d, knight b6, a takes b. And here, what does he want? Queen a8, rook a8. Jump with the knight to d6, but okay, it's so complicated. Maybe that's the idea, you know. They agreed. Milos and Volodar. Wow. So Kartik brought his knight to e4 and went f5, g takes, e takes. And what is happening? Wait, king c7 is the only move, no? Because king c6 I have knight a5 and game over. King e6, yes, king c7 Xiao played. And okay, what can I do? I can take king d5. I can go knight c5, but no, it's just black doesn't have any problems. Like white also, but yes, it's very close to. And Arjun goes rook b8. Yes, bishop e2, let's say. And maybe now he wants to trade the queens. Yes, bishop e2, g takes f. And here seems like this is very unpleasant. But was it so bad here? Wow. You know, this position is equal and rook b3. You can take with the queen, and he took with the a pawn. It doesn't matter much. So this is very, very bad. If, for example, I do something else, only because of h5 maybe. And let's say I go b5, only because of h5. Before fixing white's weak pawn on b3, knight c6, knight e7, knight is coming to f5. Yes, so already white doesn't have... computer shows that the strongest is knight e1, knight f5, knight d4. Otherwise, if you go king h3, I just play knight f5 and you are in Zugzwang. You don't have much options and you are going to lose slowly your pawns. Yes, Nihal took on a8 and played a3. So what can I do now? I can take bishop e4, go knight c5. I can play some knight c5 ideas. So for example, if I take, it's just very bad probably. Wait, what is happening? Wow. Such a strong player like Nihal. He found knight a4, he went knight b6, but here he didn't find the strongest move. So queen d3 would have been the strongest, and if you take, just queen c3. And maybe he was afraid of this, but it's not much, like queen c4. Bishop b6, queen b4, knight takes, pawn takes, bishop a2. So he took. Knight c3 would have been stronger, a3. And yes, bishop takes and knight c5 is the strongest. Otherwise, this bishop, you know, black doesn't want to trade his pair of bishops, but you should take it. Otherwise, this knight is so well placed and bishop doesn't do exactly at this moment anything on f5. So that's why maybe you should start considering such moves. Yes, he took and he went knight c5. No, very good, very classic game by Max Warmerdam. He understood the point, he traded the queens, and he went for this h5. Yes, Kirill is completely winning. Yes, king d5, king b7, king e6, and what's the right way to make a draw? Should I play f4, f3? Of course, some small problems are still there for black, because white is going to simply collect the pawns, f5, f6, h7. So you can of course keep some of them, and yes, Max, his opponent Jacob, or maybe Jakub, resigned. f4, king f6. And what's the idea? f3, but white has a much stronger and much active king. So what are we having here? But why Pranav played this move? Oh. Yes, his opponent played this. Yes, Indian Grandmaster Inian played this line against me back in 2022, and here I played knight a6. I think that move was played by Rajabov against Ding Liren. Yes, many decent moves are possible, including c6 and knight e2, rook e8, b6, c5, c4. Yes, so far queen g5. I think they are repeating Alireza's game against Dominguez. And b5 was played. Bishop f8 would have been better. Knight d5 is not really hanging because knight d5, bishop h2, but b5, knight f4, that's why computer wanted to go bishop f8 to always have h6. So takes, still complicated position. b4, knight b5, b takes a, rook takes a3, rook b8, knight takes. And rook b3 was inaccuracy. Definitely wanted to play this. Rook c7 came as a surprise. Maybe he didn't play it. No, of course, rook e6 was played, and after g5, rook e3, because he... I apologize. Yes, because after rook e3, white would definitely take on f6. And bishop e1 by bishop d2 and rook f2. White is black is in some trouble. Black is in some trouble since knight is hanging on f6 and you don't have many squares to go because f7 is hanging. Let's see the other results. Idani drew his game with the black pieces against a young Turkish player. Alexakis is playing. No, white is definitely much better. White is pawn up, and white is having very active position, and with the knight on f4. Yes, king is very safe on g2. Yes, white is probably much better. Yes, it's +2 round. Yes, queen e5, it's a double attack, or... Yes, my knight is hanging. Bishop c4, queen c3 will come. Knight e4, you can at least take bishop takes e4. No, seems like Pranav Anand is in some trouble. Yes, Pranav Anand is in some trouble. You don't have really moves with the knight, since I just take on b5. With the bishop, like bishop c6, queen takes c3. Yes. Even it's not that easy to protect the knight on c3. Like, how do you want? Like queen c2, rook b5, knight b5, queen b5. No, Arjun is going to win this game, and especially white doesn't have much time. Yes, let's just wait till Pranav Anand will make his move. Yes, he's still taking his time. Yes, simply I don't. Queen a7, queen c3. My hope was if queen c2 was played. Yes, and here at least I'm having rook b5. It does look interesting, but somehow I think black maybe can go even e3. Yes, rook b5 is decent move. White should take queen b5, and the only problem black has is king is a little bit exposed, but with the bishops, with the heavy pieces, black will manage to save his king. Some other moves are also there, like e3. I would really consider e3 move. Yes, and Arjun doesn't even spend a minute. He goes e3. And again, Pranav Anand is in some trouble because he doesn't have much time, and he should make some important decisions. Like queen is hanging. Where do you want to go? If you place your queen on b file, then always this a6 finishes the game. Queen a4, queen c3 comes. Queen c1, e2 comes. I think rook f5 is the strongest. So you take rook f5, and I have choice between taking queen f5, taking rook f5. Rook f5 I don't like much. I should take with the queen. You take queen f5. I take with the rook. You should take bishop c4, but that's completely lost position for white. Yes, 34, 3, 2, and queen e2, queen c1, e2. Yes, I don't see any. Yes, rook f5, queen takes f5. And now also you should take it. We should trade the queens as well, which is because another issue is this b5 bishop is hanging. Now probably queen f5 he will take. Rook takes f5. Arjun will continue, I guess. Bishop takes c4, and there Arjun has many decent moves, but I prefer going rook c8 and just. No, queen a2 was played. What a move. What a risky move. Queen f1, rook f1, rook f1, king h2, bishop f4, g3. Arjun didn't. Yes, e2. e2, very nice tactical idea. Very nice. Knight e2, b5, bishop is hanging. Queen f1 is a threat. But did Arjun see bishop c2, bishop c4? Maybe he rushed? Because bishop takes c4, No, the problem, yes, I apologize. Queen f1. Yes, it just checkmate. Arjun sees everything. Queen f1, rook f1, king h2, rook h1, king h1, e1, then bishop f4 and checkmate. Now, will Pranav Anand make another move, or will he resign? Right now, we will see in upcoming moves and upcoming seconds. No, we should say that Pranav didn't play his best today. And probably he resigned. No, he goes queen c4. What is this? Queen f1, rook. No, queen f1 finishes the game. Rook f1, king h2, bishop f4. No, queen f1 just finishes the game. King h2, bishop f4 takes. I just take, and bishop f4 and bishop g3 and rook f2 and then e1. Yes, even I myself, I can see such ideas. No doubts that Arjun will go queen f1. No doubts. Arjun is rook b5. No, but queen f1 was checkmate, no? The reason Arjun didn't play it because like it's completely win, and here queen f4, rook f4. Yes, but it's completely lost, of course. Yes, rook takes b5 by Arjun. And here his opponent can resign because queen b5 takes rook f1, knight b5, queen f1, and Arjun just wants to queen e2. This is too much. Arjun will play rook e5, no doubts. Arjun will play. Yes, rook e5 takes, rook f1, bishop f4, bishop takes e5. Any other move also wins. Like any move probably wins. Yes, and Arjun goes rook e5. I was wrong with queen f1. I said no doubts Arjun will play queen f1, but he went rook b5. Even stronger move. Now Arjun is going to win, and let's see. Yes, Arjun will have 6 points, and with the white pieces he is going to play. Yes, and Max also is having 6 points. It is going to be very interesting, and Pranav is going to resign. And here we are having, wow. Oh, this is just insane. Dear friends, this is insane. Dear friends, Nihal Sarin had a very good game, and he got much better position. But then it was hard to really. It was when I was thinking. I realized that I knew that white is better, but it was so complicated or messy that I was thinking, but couldn't see anything clear. And Arjun, I apologize. Nihal, he took on a8 and played a3, and already black is not worse even. Yes, knight c5, rook d8, rook c4, protecting the pawn, otherwise knight e4 might be there. f5, he takes g takes, trying to open g7 bishop, also hoping to get this e5, e4, yes, bishop e1, and bishop c3. Bishop takes c3, rook takes c3. And Maxim is having huge advantage. And this is very big chance for black, for Maxim to maybe fight for advantage and fight for win. Because rook g4 is coming. If let's say b4 comes, then you can always move your knight to d7, e5. Yes, and Kirill managed to win. Yes, they are still playing. And yes, c3 was played. Bishop takes c3. Bishop c1 was the strongest, so bishop c3 takes. Queen b1 would have been stronger. No, I think it was maybe queen b1. Oh, we are having probably some technical issues. So let's see. Before he went knight d7. So knight is coming to e5. No, this is some. Nihal is in trouble. Nihal is in trouble. Unfortunately for him, he was doing so good till, let's say, and now 95. Will Maxim find this move? I think it's easy to find because 95 has a huge threat. Black is threatening knight g4, and then this pawn on e3 falls, which means that black is going to advance f, e, and d pawn chain. Yes, no doubts. Maxim will play 95. And he goes rook e1 by Nihal. We fully understand his decision, stopping knight g4, knight takes e3, and computer likes king e6. King e6, a5, knight g4, king f1, f4, e takes f, king d5. This is insane. You know, sacrificing f pawn, bringing king closer to e and d pawns. Yes, I think it's possible to find. I think maybe Max will start with knight g4, but let me check my YouTube. Oh, we didn't check. This is probably it's you just place your rook on d3. No, pawn is sending a5, b takes b5. I played Fernandez Daniel Howard, and he goes a5, b takes b5. Yes, whenever black is trying to attack g3, we can always go rook d3. And our c3 and b5 pawns, c and b pawns, should be stronger than black's doubled a pawns. And what are we having? Alonso Rosell Alvar is playing Shuvalova Polina. So d5, e takes d isn't really working. It is working, but e6 will come, and who knows, maybe e7 later on. So black obviously does not have problems. Only black can be better, but it seems like black is not better. And he went knight g4, king f1. King e6 would have been stronger, but somehow Max decided to go for knight g4. Maybe he's already trying to calculate some concrete lines, but some of them aren't working. King f6 with the idea to go f4 and king f5. And Max repeats. I don't expect him to go for a draw. I don't expect. So knight g4 check was slight inaccuracy. Because if you are not going to do anything concrete after knight g4, then why you played knight g4? Why do you need your knight on g4? We see that some players didn't even start the. They were registered, but they didn't even start the tournament. But some other players left the tournament. We see. So. He went rook d8. Yes, and he of course wants to take knight e3. And he will take knight e3. Because d2 doesn't really work, rook d1 is there, I guess. So Max really wants to take, which forces you to take. d2 forces you go to back to e1. So you can take d takes c, you can go even d1. d1 I prefer even more. Rook d1, rook d1, rook goes later on a1. Yes, knight e3 was played by Maxime. And yes, you should take, otherwise, like, anyway d2 is coming. So you take d2, rook e1. Yes, even d takes c, d1 the same, takes rook a1, rook c5, and it should be lost because black is having e and f pawns. How is Tiban? We don't have access to his game. We were also following this one, and seems like black is trying. No, Max went for the taxi, so he's just winning. Okay, as I promised, as we agreed, let's go to chess.com. Let's go to my profile. Let's do puzzles, puzzle rush, and let me also see do we have any problems with, is it fine with our hello to my good friend Solomon. He's asking any idea why Hans didn't play. I assume the most logical answer is like he just won Grenke Open tournament, and maybe it was it took a lot of energy, and that's the only reason he decided not to play, because for next year, for next edition, he will be playing with Magnus. So that's the only reason. At least this is my opinion. Okay, seems like we don't have any issues with the board and with YouTube. Let's continue. So my goal is, as you can see, yesterday I solved 46 and my best is 48, so I will try to do more, but let's see how it goes. Am I slow, dear viewers? I don't think I'm so slow. Okay, rook b3, rook f3, g3 probably. What are we having? Rook f2, I guess. King takes h7. So this is probably, okay, wait, bishop f6, queen g4. Yes, this takes and takes there. So this should be this, queen h3 and queen h2. Takes queen a4 and queen takes a6. This is rook e3 isn't working, or it is, like h5, bishop e1. And rook takes e3. What do you want? What do you want? Should I play king c5, king d6? Oh, such a hard. Let's take. Check, takes, check, takes. Rook d8. Knight e4, knight takes f6. And let's take with the queen, let's take with the bishop. So I guess b takes c. Takes with the queen and queen d6. Wow. Wow, wow. King c3, king d4. And what do you want? What do you want? King c5, king d6, king e7. Okay. 46. Okay, one more. Oh, rook b2. Wait, bishop g8, rook takes, and queen h7 checkmate. How do we go queen d5, king d5 or king? I think it's the same. Okay, queen h8, queen g8, and what? Bishop b3, bishop b3, rook takes b3, bishop h7, bishop g6, bishop f5, bishop g6, queen h7, queen. I should be this, and the other check. No chance to do. Only 41. Bishop g5, knight f5 probably. Bishop g5 and queen takes g5 and queen takes d2. Knight d6 is a checkmate. Bishop a4, rook a2, a4 and then check and checkmate. I guess queen h5 is finishing the game, and then it takes f. Yes, I just take. And here, what do you want? Just queen d8 and rook h6. Okay, let's try to. So what's the idea? Knight d5, bishop b5, d takes c, c7, rook e8, queen g5, d3, queen a5. What is this? Oh, rook e8, huh? And here d3 and just you take and d2. Queen d6 and rook g8 is checking. And here what's the idea? Rook e5 should be the move, and then bishop takes g2. Then takes here, and what is this? I can take rook e1, c7, queen c7, rook e3, probably queen d4. And this should be bishop f8 or bishop. Yes, probably this is the idea. Check is not working, check is working. But how do I continue like this? Not rook f8, of course. 42. But how does Anish solve 50? Am I so? What? How do I checkmate? c4 and knight b3, I guess. Should I include my king also? Yes. What is this? Check and rook b5, I guess, and position remains unclear. So takes, but it's not working. So what's the move? Bishop b7 and takes. Bishop g4 and takes, and bishop takes g4 back. And here this is the checkmate idea. And rook h8 should I play? And how do I mate? Bishop f2, rook g3, rook f3, I guess. So this is check, takes. Oh. Queen c2. Why? Oh, bishop h2 was. Yes, no chance again. No chance. Rook d8, king d8, king d8, rook d8. Bishop g3, bishop h3, queen h3, and rook h8, and queen takes back. Rook f7, knight f3, g5, and then rook f4, and yes, check and checkmate. H3, I guess, h2 and h1. Yes, should be rook f1 check, I guess. And a takes b, I guess. And how do we trap? We don't trap anything. Okay, what do you want? Knight d5, should I play? Check, what should I do? Oh, Kane again. Rook b1. Rook e7 probably. Queen e7, queen g4. Yes, no chance. Simply no chance for me. Let's go to... Let's see, do we have any questions? Anything? Yes, nothing so far. And let's continue playing some random blitz games and maybe try to increase some ratings. Gain some rating and be close to 3000. Yes, but I'm so much worried that I'm not even able to do 48. Probably I don't see tactics very fast. Okay, we are playing FM from Poland, I guess. Knight f3, knight c3. Let's go e3, a3, d takes c, b4. Yes, bishop b2, bishop d6 was played, rook a2 in Gukesh's game, and let's go queen c2. Yes, with the bishop. And what do we play here? Let's try knight e4. Knight b4 is working, maybe. So rook fd1, rook ac1, maybe knight b4 he had. Okay, rook fd1, I guess we go. Bishop b3. Yes, h4 is also my idea with some knight g5. I have always bishop c2. I have always f5. He goes f5, of course. But what if rook d7, f takes c, rook e7, knight e7, bishop e6, rook d7, queen d7, bishop e6, queen h4, queen c2. I have. Anyway, like many decent moves are there. Let's take. But not. I don't want to take. Let's go queen f4. Bishop b8. I will play queen g5. Yes, he should probably take, or queen f7. What does he want? Queen f7, I guess, because queen g5, knight g5, it looks so. Rook c1, now I'm threatening also some rook d7 ideas, maybe. h6 probably he will go. And he does play, and my queen is almost trapped. Let's go queen h4. Knight e7, will he go knight e7? Probably he will. Rook d7, and nothing is hanging. Okay, let's try queen d4. He doesn't have moves with the bishop, the d7 bishop. Yes, he goes it, and let's go queen b6. At least I'm threatening some rook d7, bishop e6. Yes, he defends so well. Let's already collect some material, no? Knight d4. Queen e7, what is this? Oh, well, he plays takes. Takes with the queen. What does he want? g3? I more or less see this. Queen g5, he goes queen g5. You know, let's take. Let's go rook c8. And let's hope we are not blundering anything. Knight f8, queen g8 is there. So he takes, I take, and I like my position because... And I'm already better, probably. Much better, close to winning. Okay, he still continues fighting. But let's be very practical. But sometimes we shouldn't. Bishop f7, queen d1. I let my opponent play queen d1. Queen g4 he will play. Will he go queen g4? Okay, what is this? Like check? Can I take just this knight? Bishop g8? But what do you want? Like, of course not. Of course I'm with a huge respect to as a person, but like, what was the point? He decided to continue after let's say bishop g8 or queen takes c7. Play a game. Oh. Yes, dear friends, as you probably saw, Nihal managed to save that position. It was -4, 5, even maybe more, but he managed to draw that game against such a high-rated opponent, such a strong opponent. Great. Will Anish? No way Anish will play. Oh, oops. I thought report, add friend, challenge. Like standard. No, we are not going to play you. let's see. No, because with a huge respect to him as a person, but didn't fully understand when I was ahead on time and position was so winning, like. Why he decided to continue? Yes, I was trying to challenge. I think more or less it's this. Anish is not going, of course, to accept. Nodirbeck probably as well. Nodirbeck as well. Vladimir Kramnik as well, I guess. Yes, Arjun Erigaisi, Vladimir Fedosiev. They are going to play very soon another round in Menorca Open. Like no one really wants to play. Yes, top players aren't accepting my challenge. Yes, Fernandez managed to win. Shuvalova drew. And still some games are going. Like what is this? Sosa is winning. Yes, he has extra pawn, better pieces. Yes, but still some checks are possible to follow. No, but this was like... it was important to not let white push his a pawn to the 7th rank. If black would have rook on a6 and would stop pawn on a5, according to computers, black was winning. Yes. Daniel. So I challenged Anish and Nodirbeck, but wow, one of the players, we checked his game, he does have 3000 rating. I think it's him. It's him. Okay, we won't disturb him. Okay, let's try. No, but you know, I respect Kramnik very much, and I know that you know, even if I lose, if I somehow I challenge him and he accepts and I play him, if I win, then I think all of us know what will happen. If I lose, then obviously I'm not going to challenge him to lose all my games. I'm trying. I will try. So, but in all circumstances, I mean, I will have some issues. Like if I win, then he's going most likely. Um, you know what will follow if I somehow will beat Kramnik. If I'm losing, then we will continue our match. Yes, Gabuzian Chesmut, my good friend Hovannes Gabuzian, very strong GM and 3100. So amazing rating. I don't even imagine how did he manage to gain so much rating. Yes, Sina Mohamed, very young player from Iran. Okay, let's. V Pranav. Keyborg. Big Fish. Daniel Naroditsky. David Howell. Dmitry Kolars. Ariantari. Well, let's challenge him. Let's see. Does he want to play or? Okay, let's challenge Mr. Kramnik. No, Kramnik isn't accepting our challenge. Tari as well. Anish also. Dodirbek as well. But it's not like I'm having, at least I'm having higher rating than Aryan and Kramnik, but seems they are busy. So of course we are not going to challenge Arjun. First of all, we don't have any chances. Second, he has another round very soon. Same as Big Fish, as Nihal. Yes. Okay, seems no one really wants to. Okay, then we can go to Go to puzzle rush. Yes, let's accept. Okay. Sorry. So queen b1, rook h7 is a checkmate. Queen g3, queen h3, queen f1, queen g1, king b takes. Should g5, a5, g4, a6, g3, e7, so b takes a and g5. Queen e3 is a checkmate. Queen e6 is a checkmate, I guess. Bishop h7 and this bishop takes and a takes b. What are we having? Are we having, yes, this. What is this? Probably check and takes and rook g6. At least we are up a queen. Bishop b4 should be the check. Queen h5 should be the check, and I guess this. d4 is a checkmate. Check and bishop b4 checkmate. Queen f5, queen h5, queen h6. Yes, like any bishop move is checkmating, no? Like, what's the h3? Ah, it's a check. Queen takes, knight e7, knight takes c8, queen d3 probably, and bishop b4 is a checkmate, and bishop takes d2 is a checkmate. Yes, how do I play here? Check. No chance. Again, no chance to... Yes, this is winning. Bishop c5, knight g4 is better move. Check is better move. 5 takes, it takes, g takes. Only 43. Okay, one more and we can finish. No, knight f6. Queen d6. More 43 again. Once it's there, okay, once again let's try punish, and once again let's try Kramnik. Kramnik is not online. Okay, we will wait a couple of more minutes, and if they accept somehow, then we will play some games. If not, then we are going to finish our stream. Thank you very much for being with me. Thank you Thank you very much for watching. Yes, I'm ready. I'm available. If you have any suggestions, any ideas, any formats you prefer and like, you can write in comments. Any advice, anything, I'm available. So please feel free. Yes, and yes, today we mainly covered Menorca Open Round 7. Also, we did a lot Puzzle Rush. Not as much as yesterday, but anyway, a lot. And also, we played only one game, but you saw that I challenged many players, including top players. None of them accept our challenge. Yes, again, I'm very thankful to all of you who watched and supported. So hope to see you very soon. Cancel, and let me stop